both of my reading journals. First one, my regular reading journal for statistics and my opinions on books, which I have used since I think 2023. 2023, and now it's 2025. It shows that I don't use my journal nearly as much as I want to, but it's fine. Just a quick recap. In January I read 2 books. One was a graphic novel, and another was, I would say, literary fiction with elements of sci-fi, and it was The Invention of Morel, the sci-fi one, and Suit Armor, the graphic novel. I read volume 1. I am almost finished with volume 2, so probably will have another graphic novel. The Invention of Morel is a book club pick for Emmy's World Tour book club, and Sutter Armor is the book I used for Aurelium's adventure in Aldea? I think that's how I pronounce it. I'm still like not sure for the pronunciation, but this is my little journal for that. I decided to use a separate journal because I am running out of pages in this one, and really asks for many pages, at least in my opinion. So this is my little adventures in Aldea spread. I've done January right now, and that was the graphic novel Sudarama Volume 1. And now, as we're on February, I have chosen the book I'm going to be reading, hopefully, which I will talk about a bit later, as I list off all the TBR for this month, which is kind of a lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to get through it, but it's fine. So that is what I'm reading. I also have some TBR books that are going to be mentioned, also related to Aurelium, because I've decided to try to complete all the prompts for Novice Path before spring equinox, since I joined at a bit of a random time. It's the best time, really, because like I have time to do all the prep that I didn't do when it initially came out. But for Novice Path, you have to complete at least 2 prompts, but since I have all this time until April, I thought maybe I will try to complete all of them. So far I have completed only 1. I used the same Invention of Morel for the first prompt, and I have also another few books that will count towards the Aurelium TBR for February. So let's go on to the books. I'm gonna quickly give the list because there are a lot of books that I'm trying to read in February. So the first one, of course, we have Finished Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm like 200 pages. I have 200 pages left. I think I can figure out how to read it quite quickly. I'm probably gonna read this today, and maybe get 100 pages in. So maybe soon gonna finish it. Probably in this vlog. Next up, we have Stone Dream. That is the February 2nd read of World Tour Book Club by Emmy, and we're reading from Azerbaijan, I want to say. And I'm very excited. I have the ebook downloaded, and I'm just very ready for it. Next up is a book I bought for myself for Christmas, and this is Dance and Dance by Haruki Murakami. This book holds a special place in my heart, mostly because of Emmy, one of my favorite booktubers. I started watching her when she was still in university, and how she was writing her not PhD, but like her dissertation on Dance Dance Dance, and I fell in love with her like descriptions of this book. And I also figured out, that was the moment I figured out I wanted to be in humanities, and that's why I have always wanted to read this book. I wanted to see what Emmy experienced and maybe how it would apply to my life. And yeah, the next book I have is a book I'm actually kind of starting to read. I am 3% in, and it is an arc from NetGalley. The book is called The Witch Who Trades with Death, and it is a fantasy with politics involved, I want to say. I find the pages that I have read so far, I have been loving it. The character is very interesting. Characters are very interesting, and I'm excited to know more about the world that we are set in. And I think that's it for the arcs. Then we move on to the Game of Tomes book club that also Emmy and Caroline host. And for January, February, March, we have Magic Mountain by Mark Twain. I am listening as an audiobook for this book because, quite frankly, the book isn't available in my libraries. And I wanted to read it. I really did. But there's somebody has taken the first part, book one, I think, in my library, and they are not returning it. And who knows, maybe I will get the second part at some point, but the libraries that have the book are very far from me and not convenient. So I have, in the meantime, picked up an audiobook. I am like, I want to say 10% in. I'm very slow. The book is large. The book is a tome. That's why it's in the book of tome. Oh my god. The Game of Tomes. Thank you. Game of Tomes book club. But I'm enjoying it. It's very interesting premise. It's about a guy who spends, I don't remember how many years, but a lot of years in sanatorium. I want to say 7, maybe 10. Check it yourself. And I've been finding it very interesting. It is a bit hard to follow, at least for me, in the audiobook, but that might be the narrator's fault. I'm not sure. But I've been enjoying it. But yeah, that's for the book clubs. And next up, I am going to talk about The Adventure of Aldea book that I'm reading. And actually, it's not a book, it's a story, and it's a Tolstoy story. It is The Death of Ivan Ilyich. I've had this book for a while. I was supposed to read this before I read War and Peace in summer. Did I read War and Peace or did I read this? No. But since I haven't read it and the prompt was read a book that is in the middle left side of on your bookshelf, and it just so happened that my Wordsworth classics are there, and I was like, I need a pretty short one because I have a lot of books, as you can see, on my platter. And I was like, oh, The Death of Ivan Lynch. Lynch, sorry. I wanted to read this a long, long time ago. Why should I not read it now? I will look, when I start reading this, I will figure out if I want to read a whole anthology of this edition, the Wordsworth Classics edition of short stories. But so far, it's just that one story. If I have time, I might read the whole anthology. But so far, it's just that story. And next up, we have My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I've been wanting to read this a long time ago, probably when it first became popular, and I wanted to buy it then, but I didn't, and I don't know why. And this is another book that I bought myself for Christmas. So, February, why not read this? This is also one of the books that I have to read, or not have to read, but I have put out to read for the Novice Path and Aurelium. Let me think. Do I have anything else? Oh, I do. I kind of trying to self learn A levels literature in English. And right now I have kind of finished the poetry part, at least AS level. I have studied from the curriculum, and I have my textbook, and I've pretty much gone to AS level, fully unit of poetry, and now I'm moving on to drama. And I have chosen the set text to be The Duchess of Malfi. Firstly, I had what was it, the moon over the rainbow shawl or something like that. But I realized no resources. I had no resources for that play, and because I am self-studying, I have even less resources because I have to be the teacher and the student, and I don't have any Cambridge resources, so it's a bit hard to find stuff. So I just changed my answer to, or my set text to something that I would have easier time to actually study, and that is The Duchess of Malfi. And I have actually I don't have the book with me right now, but I have ordered it, and it's gonna very soon arrive. So you're probably gonna see the edition that I have in this video. It's the Oxford um classics. What is it called? The Oxford Classics. I don't remember how the edition is called, but yeah, the Oxford Classics one. And those are my TBR. This is my TBR for February. I have realized this is a 12-minute video. Should this just be the video? February TBR. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my February TBR and a little recap of January's reads. And I hope you have a great month and that you are on top of your goal, but also if you're not, it's fine. Reading is for enjoyment. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.